I'm muting my mic. I just typed in the chat. I'm gonna wait and type anything into the chat area. Okay.
Okay.
See it?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Live now. Okay. All right. Just want to make sure that we have everything looking good. Technical. We have the tech going here. We are going live. Oh my goodness. It's so great to have you folks come on. This is a wonderful, this is going to be a wonderful discussion here. Hey, my name is Brian, AKA Uncle B, Coach B. I've been working with a whole lot of people for years with male performance, with helping people with their health. And when you get this much information about health and you're dealing with folks who are worried about a pandemic, worried about the coronavirus, what's going on? What can you do aside from just shelter in place and wait for a vaccine? Because that's slightly a solution. Sheltering in place, that slows the vaccine from coming to you. But what happens when it comes in your environment? What happens when it comes into your family's environment? What can you do to prepare your body so you don't have to worry about catching it? And if you do catch it, at least you can fight it off better. We all know that the people who are most in need of help are the folks who have lower immune systems. So it makes a lot of sense for us to start talking about the immune system. It is sort of questionable as to why, well, we just never talk about it. In our society at large, getting colds, getting the underlying issues that make people go to the hospital, have to worry about coronavirus, those things are there. So why aren't we talking about getting our immune systems up so we don't have to be so afraid, so we can actually take care of ourselves, not just wait for a cure, not just wait for a vaccine. So that's what I'm going to talk about. Once again, for folks who are just hopping on, thank you very much for coming on. My name is Brian, AKA Uncle B. The performance coach with African Fly, the liquid aphrodisiac. And as a coach, as a coach, like I said before, just dealing with helping people out, giving them information, and not just the information, but some techniques, some thought processes so you can get better. That's what it's all about. So you don't have to worry about coronavirus, just being afraid of it. There is something you could do about it. And that's what we're going to talk about right now. So just to be some thoughts for you folks. Yes, I am getting the messages coming through from Jonathan really quick. Just want to answer that question. If your hormones are out of whack, does that mean your immune system is not good? Is bad too, as he says. Jonathan, the answer is it's not helpful. The better your overall health is, the better is for your entire body. So, I often talk about, just looking at your health the way you would look at a video game. When you first start those fighting video games where your strength is this much, and when you're at that level of 100% strength, then you don't have to worry about as much. But if your immune system makes it so that you're down here, we're talking about your testosterone levels, we're talking about your blood levels. A lot of things are involved in your health. So you need everything to be working, especially when you're dealing with a virus inside of your body. Moringa. Richard, I'll talk about that in a second. I am doing good, Don Dada. My man, how's everything with you? All right, so just to make sure we're clear, I am a coach. I'm not a doctor, but my job is to give you the information and give you the techniques, the things that you need, and the encouragement. And we're providing that encouragement along with our Facebook group that I'll talk about a little bit later. But we already know what things we're supposed to do. What are those things we're supposed to do? We're supposed to wash our hands, supposed to keep our distance to 6 feet, cover our mouths, all these different things. But what do you do after that? And that requires your immune system to be up. And what happens when your immune system isn't up? All types of things go wrong automatically. So we want to have our immune systems up. And I'm even talking to those people who have underlying issues, who have asthma, who have diabetes. If you're on right now, please share. Hey, Andrew from Australia. Good to see you, man. But I do want you to share this information because it's very important. When we're talking about our immune system, when we're talking about the coronavirus, we're talking about en masse things need to be taken care of. If you are okay, but let's say your coworker isn't, let's say your boss isn't, let's say the owner of the company, someone passes away, it affects you. The same thing if it's your children who catch it, or it's your mother or whoever. So it's important that we're not just talking about protecting ourselves with some magical pill, but there's something that all of us can do. When we're helping our immune system, that's how we help not only our families, but the country, the world at this point. So let's talk about a couple of things. First of all, the likelihood of you catching COVID-19 is dependent upon your immune system. Even when we're talking about your hands, they talk about washing your hands and things of that nature. They also say you have to make sure your hands are oiled up, so you don't have a lot of cracks in your hands, and the virus can get to you from that way. But some things that people don't think about is the fact that your DNA, 30% of your DNA is fixed. That's who you are. That your DNA sort of determines your height, some pigmentation, your sex, obviously. But when it comes to, hey, we have somebody on a 7-day quarantine. Drinking lemon tea. Okay, I'm gonna talk to you in a second, sir. Appreciate that. But when it comes to being able to control your diet, being able to control what's going on inside of your body, 70% of that is food. So me at 5'10", I could be 5'10", 125 pounds, or 5'10", 425 pounds. That 70%, that's in your control. So a lot of what I'm going to talk about today is going to be the food. There's some other things we're going to get into, including sleep, but just have that in mind. And remember that 90% of our diet is off. We're living in a man-made environment, if you will. So, we're all a product of mass farming, industrial farming. So it's cheaper to get chicken than apples, if that makes any sense at all, which of course it doesn't. But, in terms of our sleep habits, in terms of our stress levels, it is an issue if you're not taking care of what goes inside of your body. So the faster you can get your immune system up, the safer you are for the people who are around you. And that's just really important. And I think the thing that we should all learn from this, when we're talking about the coronavirus, all of a sudden everyone's health is a question. If you have those underlying issues, you are in danger, if you will. So what can you do about that? And so now we have the light shining upon the fact that the vast majority of Americans and people around the world have a low immune system. It's not strong enough. So, for the folks, and praying for the folks over there in Italy, they have a large elderly population. That's the reason why there's so many deaths over there. We have in the United States, the average American has 7 different medical issues. So we have a lot of people with diabetes, a lot of people with hypertension, have had stress, have asthma, have a lot of issues. And if you already have these issues, you add one more thing that's very powerful and you're going to have a problem. And that's what we're trying to avoid. And when we think about it, when we have a person who's at full power, when your immune system is strong, the worst you can get as far as catching COVID-19 is you're asymptomatic, which basically means you have it, but you're not showing any of the symptoms. You're doing fine. The issue is that you could possibly spread it. It's a lot less than someone who has a low immune system and they get the virus. Now you're coughing and you're spreading it even more. So it's important to have your immune system up. Just one thing. COVID-19 is not like the swine flu. The swine flu was taking out everybody. It didn't matter if you had a good immune system or not. It was just that powerful. Some people were able to be around it and live. A lot of people did not. They would literally die within 12 hours. So we're not talking about something as drastic as that, but we still have to have our immune system up. So, and I want to make it clear, when a lot of people talk about, immune system, in their mind, they're thinking like, okay, there's a person with a 6-pack. And, they work out constantly every day. That's how you look is different from your immune system. So, if you're talking about a person who's heavy set, but they're doing the right things as compared to, let's say, a skinny meth addict, obviously there's going to be a difference in the way they react to a different virus. And I want to thank everybody who's joining us in on the chat. I do want to give a shout out to Jamar over in Jamaica. Hey, Mike from Baltimore. Appreciate you, brother. Andrew, all right, I'm 60, but it feel better when I was in my 30s. I do gym workout at home. I have all organic homegrown greens. My man, that's life goals for me. I'm with you. I'm with you. We need that. And I encourage you, if any folks you have some stories, please hop on the chat and let me know. I really appreciate that. And just something to understand in terms of, a way to look at this. When a person passes, when they're older, we say they died of old age. Basically, it was like multiple organ failures. There was something wrong. Then you put something on top of that and something went wrong. Then put something on top of that that was wrong. So that's what happens with coronavirus. If you have something already there, you stack something on, it becomes even harder to fight off. All right. My man from Kentucky, Hatchet Jack from Kentucky. How's it going, man? All right. So the problem is a huge number of people have low immune systems. When I say a huge number of people, that's the reason why we're seeing so many people pass off. And in terms of like, if the coronavirus gets into an elder center, a senior center, it wreaks havoc. Only because there's low immune system. And we have a belief system, a lifestyle that's just completely off the rails. The things we're doing now, you couldn't do 50 years ago. You certainly couldn't do 100 years ago. So certain things we take for granted, like lights, like computers, like having meat at every meal, that never existed before. We're the first generation of humans to be able to eat meat at every meal. That was not possible just 50 years ago. So it's something to keep in mind. And we do get a lot of confusing messages about what you should be doing. All right. Black seed oil, I'll talk about that. Okay. Black seed oil is good, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. But yeah, we want to make sure we're paying attention to the right messages. When I say the right messages, here's something to keep in mind. Whenever I talk about someone's immune system, the first thing they say is, oh, okay, well, I need some vitamin E, I need some vitamin C. Your body doesn't function like that. There isn't a vitamin E plant. There's vitamin E in plants, but there isn't vitamin C plant. There's vitamin C in plants, but that's not the way nature works. Nature works in fulfillment, in totality. So when you eat an apple, you're getting a bunch of nutrients, a bunch of vitamins, a bunch of things that work in coordination with each other. If you're just looking for one pill to put inside, your pill is this big and your body is this big, it's not a good thing. It has to have a huge impact in order to change your entire body. I mean, that's the reason why they call it drugs. That's the reason why, when we're talking about drugs, drugs are new. This isn't something that, most drugs that you're taking, that if you're taking drugs right now, they've been on the planet less time than you've been alive. That's the reason why you always see those commercials afterwards saying, oh, did you take our product and didn't live? Well, call us at 1-800-OUR-BAD. So there's an issue when you're thinking that all I have to do is just take a pill. The thing that I want you to question, the thing I want you to think about, what if you lived in a healthy culture? What if you lived in a world where it was like, everybody was just used to eating the right things. Everybody was just used to this, everybody got up and jogged. People went to sleep on time. What if we lived in that type of culture? That's something that we have to move back to, because right now we are in a world of hurt because of that. One of the things I came up with, we call it the easiest system. It's ESEIS. We're talking about energy, sleep, exercise, intermittent fasting, and your soul. And I'm going to break that down for you. And the reason why we do that is because we're looking at these five groups. If you're taking care of everything in these five groups, then you're just naturally, your immune system is going to come up. And so what I'm going to do is talk specifically about energy. Yeah, Hatchet, you're right. Yeah, it is like every commercial is about some new drug, and it's a joke. I mean, it's like, hey, this is great. And then at the end of it, while they're showing you all of the people walking through fields and everything, they're saying, oh yeah, by the way, may cause hypothermia, may cause death, may cause all these different things. We've seen these commercials that it shows that the product isn't great. And as I always say, if you have to take a pill for the rest of your life, that means it doesn't work. So we have to be careful with that. A lot of guys are asking about black seed oil. Black seed oil is good, but once again, it isn't just a cure all. It's what else are you doing along with what you're taking? And let me just dive into really quickly the energy side of things. And when we're talking about energy, we're talking about what you're putting inside of your body. We didn't call it eating because people right now, we're used to eating death. And as I always say, there's only two food groups. There's live food and there's dead food. And live food is, it's whole plants. It's plants that are getting energy from the sun. So we get more energy. When we're talking about death, basically, we're talking about meats. We're talking about process. We're talking about we're going to take this plant and turn it from a wheat into a cracker or a potato into a potato chip. We're processing and taking the vitamins and nutrients out of it. And so you end up with something that's not good for you. Yeah, Andrew, on that gut health, I see you there. I see you there, sir. Yes, gut health is extremely important. And yes, you have to be careful about what you're putting in your gut. A lot of times I do talk about meat. And when a lot of people say, as humans, we're carnivores. Humans are not carnivores. It's impossible for us to be carnivores because we have to kill the animal. We're eating the carcass of the animal. A carnivore is going to eat the animal alive. It needs the fresh blood to move it through its digestive system. We get that blood in us. We don't last long at all. So, now, and for my folks out there who really, it's like, I understand. Not too long ago, I was eating 200 animals a month. Now I'm down to 0. And it took a long time for me to get there. It is a process. I do understand. So for folks who are saying like, I can't give up meat, obviously you can. Psychologically, you can't. But physically, obviously you can. People are like, well, if you don't eat meat, you're just going to die. No, that's not true at all. But you do want to, if you're eating meat, just go ahead and start walking it back, walk away from crazy. It's going to be okay. And one thing that's really important to understand about having a plant-based diet is that it reduces inflammation. And that's truly important when it comes to you having improving your immune system. So when you're eating more whole plants, you're getting that into your diet, you can increase your immune system by 28% in 3 weeks. That's a lot. That's a lot that's going on. Richard asked about, does sea moss and black seed oil work? Yes, they do. How do you know if your immune system is weak? That's a good question, Richard. Well, there's one thing, pardon me, I have to do my reverend routine. Yes, plastic plate. One thing if you have a weak, how do you know if your immune system is weak? Basically, one way to test. I mean, obviously, you can go to the doctor, you get your blood work done. They're looking at a wide range of things. That's helpful. We're working with a testosterone testing kit. Testosterone is a leading indicator of your immune system. So if your immune system is up, your testosterone levels are up. They go hand in hand. Outside of that, we're really just talking about, well, how do you feel? That's a good question. But in terms of, it's not actually just how you feel. It's not just how you look. The coronavirus will let you know whether or not you have a healthy immune system, because that's the way it works. If your immune system is weak, it's going to take you out. So the thing to think about is, how can you improve your immune system? And the way you improve your immune system is, if, let's say for instance, someone had coronavirus, for my guy who's on quarantine right now, I would say just go whole plant, because you're going to lower the inflammation. And when we're talking about this particular disease, it's a respiratory disease. It gets into your lungs and it does this battle back and forth with your immune system. And you need for your immune system to win. And in order for your immune system to win, you have to power it up. If you're eating flesh, it's going to cause more inflammation immediately. A lot of people think it takes a while. It causes more inflammation immediately. And I'm still hood, 87. How do you feel about seafood? Seafood is still live. It was alive and now it's dead. It was blood moving through it. So death And this, I say this with all sincerity, death doesn't care about your opinion. Death doesn't care the fact that, that's your mama's favorite meal and you grew up eating that. And this is, the life that you want to keep on living. Death is going to decay inside of your body. There's going to be decay. It's going to leave death in you, and it's going to build up over time. So the fastest way to get rid of disease is to remove all flesh. I hate to say it that way, but once again, we've been living a lie. We're not supposed to be eating like this. So, yeah. And my man Andrew is talking about the cleansing and sugar. Sugar is an issue. It is definitely an issue. For my folks out there who are, sort of just stuck on sugar, realize that sugar is sort of like extra fuel for your body. It's like your body runs off of sugar. Now you're adding rocket fuel to a car. And it's like it doesn't work well over a period of time. And here's another thought. This is just a thought exercise. Do you know how to grow food? Just a question. And it's an important question because if you don't know how to grow food, then we're sort of stuck in this man-made system where you can walk over grass to go to a store and pay for the food when you could actually just plant. Instead of the grass being there, you can put carrots and you put flesh there. But it does make a difference. Yes, whole food plant-based for over 4 years. Joshua Drake, I appreciate you, man. 33 and going strong. I like that. I love that. Cold pressed juice is amazing. Done at home. Yeah, I agree with you on that. There, Edgar Rodriguez. All right, appreciate you, brother. All right, so let's just keep it moving along a little bit. But yeah, that's a thought process in terms of like how we are living right now. We just believe that we're just supposed to go and get other food from other people. It's not. We're just off. We're just off. All right, so let's talk about another aspect that a lot of people don't pay attention to, and that is your sleep. How good are you at your sleep? Having sleep is hugely important when it comes to your immune system. If your immune system is weak and you don't get any sleep, then you're not getting the basis, the foundation. So skipping on sleep could adversely affect your immune system, leaving you susceptible to cold and flu. That flu is what we're trying to avoid. And just to answer a question right quick, Richard, does lemon water work? Yeah. But I would say, once again, let's not get caught up in just finding one thing because, it's like, hey, I add vodka to my lemon water and should I be okay? So obviously not. But yeah, so yes, for the guys who asked about moringa, about black seed oil, about lemon water, yes, these things are good. Beetroot, yes, I have some right there in my refrigerator. So yeah, all of that is good. So the thing about understanding about sleeping, while sleeping, your body makes cytokines. I hope I'm saying that correctly, which targets infections and inflammation. And so that's what you want to build up while you're sleeping. Not only are you building up your testosterone, but you're also building up your defense system for targeting infections and immune system. So if you're getting your 8 hours of sleep, your immune system goes up, protects your heart, protects you from heart disease, diabetes, and obesity. Now, chronic sleep makes the flu vaccine less effective. Now, I'm not sure what's going to happen, but I'm quite sure out of this, someone's going to try to make some money off of a vaccine for this. And for the folks who have weaker immune systems, if you get a vaccine while you have a weak immune system, then you're obviously that's a problem. So, and they wouldn't even give it to you. So you need to be healthy. And not only is sleeping important, sleeping longer important, but it's also the quality of sleep. So the more rapid eye movement sleep, the deeper the sleep is, the more your body is able to heal. You also have a better mood, you restore cells and hormones, and you reduce the risk of illnesses and disease. Thyme tea, yeah, thyme tea. Jamar, you are so right on that. What people do. Yeah. That's very true. So, I think that's a very important comment that Casino made there, and that is a lot of people think that this is something that you can do really quick, And and I would say that's the reason why a lot of people ask, should I just take this? Should I take that? Because it seems like a quick solution, but it's a solution that will lead you to not fulfilling everything else. So it's like someone saying, hey, just take this pill and you lose weight, and you take the pill and don't do anything else. It's not a good thing. You have to incorporate, it's part of a whole plan. That's what's needed. In a study, participants who got 6 hours of sleep or less each night were 4.2 times more likely to catch a cold. Now that's important. If you're going to skimp on your sleep, you're 4.2 times more likely to catch a cold. And we know that the cold and the flu go together. Durant asked, what about going back to berries and what it brings? Yeah, that's all natural. I like that. Okay, it was a question of what to get if you're not sleeping well. There's, I'm going to make sure I say it correctly. I have it in my bedroom. It's melatonin. Melatonin really helps with preparing your body to go to sleep. Just a couple of different things you can do in terms of going to sleep. One is try to get regular with it. A lot of people are like, I'm going to go to sleep at 11 today, 10, 9, and your body is just like a baby. How your babies have breathing time. Feeding time. They have a feeding time. You want to make sure that you're setting a schedule for that. You're doing the same thing with your body. You need to set a schedule for when you go to sleep, so it knows that, oh, it's 9 o'clock. It'll start going to sleep for you. All right. So elderberry, yes. Sea moss, yes. Molasses. Molasses, I would be careful with. If you're dealing with sugar issues, molasses is still sugar. It's natural, but it's still a lot of sugar. Melatonin, yeah. Pistachios, yep. Man, we got some smart people on this. I love it. Can I be on a plant-based diet and maintain current weight and build muscle? Actually, yes, very much so. The issue is just your natural build. If you're naturally slim and you're eating, your intake is large while you're eating meat or whatever, and then you go into just eating vegetables, then the volume that you eat is going down. You need to start eating more in order to catch up. If you're a person like me, I'm constantly in weight loss mode because it's easier for me to pick up weight. So it really just depends on you. So when I start going, when I'm plant-based right now, so it's easy. I'm not losing a bunch of weight really quickly. I know some people who do that and really quick, they lose a lot of weight. Okay, it's chamomile, honey, magnesium. We have a lot of people with questions about different things to take. Once again, just be clear, there isn't one thing. You want to incorporate, if you're looking at, let's say, chamomile tea, if you're looking at black seed oil, molasses, let me see, we got the apple cider vinegar every morning. Yeah, all of those things are good, but if you're doing it in combination with things that are not good, then it doesn't like, oh, I'm just going to take apple cider vinegar and not do anything else that's helpful. So you have to be very careful with that. So just a couple of things you should know. 70 to 80% of your immunity comes from your gut. Yeah. So that's a lot. And that means that you have to be very careful about what you consume. Tea and coffee with cream and sugar is inflammatory. So is Cokes and diet sodas. A lot of sugar throws your body off balance. Dairy is not good for the gut because of the antibiotics that are in them. And dairy also lowers your testosterone levels by a lot within an hour. Obviously, alcohol is an issue. That's not very good for you. And the thing to think about when it comes to the reason why plant-based is very helpful for you is because a lot of times people say, what should I do for protein? That's it's a commercial. That's advertising. The need for protein powders and protein shakes isn't as high as you think because in America, we overconsume protein. We underconsume fiber. So if you're getting a lot of protein from animals. They don't have any fiber, so that gets stuck in your body. And they're getting the protein from the plants. So when you get that protein from the plants, along with that fiber, it's very important. The fiber is what moves the toxins out of your body. So when we're talking about your immune system, obviously the toxin, if you have high toxicity, it's going to be a problem. Yes. H. Fernando D. Real protein comes from plants. Yes, sir. Appreciate that. Okay, so let's talk about your immune system and why it's so important. What happens after catching COVID-19? So I think a lot of people, we obviously have some intelligent folks on here. You probably know by now, the COVID-19 enters your body through your eyes, nose, and mouth. It goes through the throat to the lungs. And it goes in and tricks the cells and the lining of your lungs into replicating the virus. There's a lot more technical detail, but I'll just leave it right there. And then your body just goes haywire, and the virus goes haywire inside of your lungs. It just starts taking over. So as it's taking over your lungs, basically the way people pass from this is that your lungs start filling up with fluid. And the reason for the respirator is to get your still breathing, and then after that they have to get the fluid out. So it becomes a huge problem. That's the reason why when we're talking about the pandemic and bending the curve, when they say talking about bending the curve and all those good terminologies they're coming up with, basically they're saying that we don't know how to take care of it right now. But just like the swine flu, just like the regular flu, COVID-19 isn't like the regular flu, but just like, it's still in that same class. As humans, we figured out how to get over it. And that's what we're doing right now. It's what they call a novel virus. It's a new virus. When it's a new virus, that just means that we don't have the vaccine for it. We don't have the medical staff for it. We don't have the training for it. We haven't figured everything out. So, that's the reason why normally we're not walking around with gloves and masks on, but now we're not sure exactly how it works. So, okay, Natalie, I'm not sure why you said that, but I'm sorry. Oh, we got some good folks in our chat room there. So when this happens, your immune system kicks in, but the virus copies them too. So as you're going through the progression of getting this disease, your body's trying to fix things. And this is where, you need your immune system it's going to go a little bit crazy because it's like, this shouldn't be in here. Get it out now. Sends in too much of an army. And then it has to figure it out. Okay, how do we attack this correctly? It backs off. And that's one of the reasons why people go through the fevers and everything like that. That's your body trying to get rid of it as fast as possible. And we need to, give your body the chance to assist in that by something that's very important. The reason why having a whole plant diet works very well is because of the pH balance. Viruses don't do well in a high pH balance situation. So if you have, you're eating the fruits and vegetables, they are going to give you that pH balance that you need so that, you can get over the disease quicker. And also one of the things to remember, it's not just getting over having the COVID-19 in your system. You're also trying to avoid getting scarification in your lungs. So when this virus gets in there, it starts tearing things apart. Your immune system helps you out, but if it's too late, you're going to have lifelong issues. So for my man who's in quarantine, anybody who's dealing with coronavirus, just go straight for the fruits and vegetables. Do not touch the meat. Even if in the hospitals, they don't think this way. They just think that our medicines are going to take care of you. Don't worry about the food. That makes no sense at all, but we'll leave that there. So in most cases, the immune system slowly gains control. The healthier you are, the faster you gain control. Most cases are mild. That's just the coughing. Severe is when you have the fever. And when it becomes critical, that's when we're talking about death. So let's go into a couple of more things why your immune system is so important. If the immune system is too weak, the weakened lungs get infected with bacteria, causing pneumonia. And if the bacteria spreads to the rest of the body, death is likely. So that's the process of what happens, that downward slope, if you don't have that there. So people who die tend to have underlying issues. Now, if you're already frail, You have heart disease, diabetes, and I want to speak to something that's near to my heart because I live in Prince George's County, which is right outside of Washington, D.C. And in Prince George's County, there's a high number of African American men who are catching corona and not living. They're passing away from it, and a lot of that is just due to health. So there's some people who just think, I'm good, I'm healthy. They just think that they're healthy and they're not doing healthy things. So it's really important that, please pass this information along, pass the link along so we get other people to pay attention to their health, not just I'm gonna take my distance while drinking my beer. That's not a good idea. Let me say, when contracted, 88% of the time people have a fever and 80% have mild to moderate symptoms, worse than the flu. 40% have severe symptoms, and that's when they need the oxygen. 6% are critical, and 2 to 3% die. So that's why it's so important to have your immune system up, because the hospitals can't handle it, and they have to start making decisions on who lives and who dies. And I'm not sure how they make that decision, but if you have more money, things happen. Let's just say that. So let's go over some foods. I mean, a lot of people have been making some great suggestions. Thank you for that. Andrew even says, let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food. There we go. And Clevo, yeah, garlic and honey. Yeah. Well, let me just go ahead and break that down. That's a good one. Segue. Garlic and onions. These pungent foods reduce inflammation. They lower cholesterol. Garlic is known for its powerful anti-inflammatory properties. And one study showed that smokers who ate raw garlic had a 40% lower lung cancer risk. So, though, this study isn't paying attention to coronavirus because study was done a little while ago. But, if it's going to help with cancer in your lungs, then yeah, go with the garlic, add in the onions. Honey, be careful with, is still a sweetener. If it tastes sweet, it is sweet. It is rocket fuel for your body. And if you're doing too much of it, it's going to cause problems. Oh yeah, turmeric, ginger. Oh, let's go ahead and talk about ginger. I'm right with you, man. I'm right with you. Ginger, it has anti-inflammatory properties and promotes the elimination of pollutants from the lungs. So ginger is definitely something that you want. It actually unclogs air passages, helping to boost lung health and improving breathing. And since we're talking about a respiratory disease, that's very important. All of these fruits and vegetables deal with the respiratory disease. Yep. Okay. Chili peppers are filled with a compound that gives them their bite. That compound improves blood flow, stimulates mucous membranes, and fights infections. We're also talking about some things that are just there. You probably have them in your refrigerator. Cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli, kale have been shown to halt the progression of lung cancer and cut the risk of developing lung cancer in half. Once again, for a respiratory disease, these are some great foods for you to have. Pomegranate juice slows the growth of lung tumors. That's huge. I'm not sure who mentioned it. Andrew has ginger as part of his smoothies. That's a good idea. Turmeric is great. It helps to relieve inflammation and chest tightness associated with asthma. So if you're already dealing with asthma, adding turmeric to your daily meal, it would be a great thing. Apples have vitamin E, flavonoids, vitamin C, and they all help with the functions of your lungs. So get yourself some apples. Those who eat several a week have healthier lungs. So this is a good time to stock up on apples. All right. Grapefruit is especially good at cleansing the lungs after quitting smoking. The fruit is 92% water. That's a great thing. And I do want to mention for my man who's on quarantine and anyone else who's dealing with folks with the disease itself. Yeah, you want to be hydrated. That's very important. All right. Carrots. Now, mind you, some of these, couple of things. everything that I'm mentioning, all these fruits and vegetables I'm mentioning, they're not available all around the world. We just happen, these are some things I can get because I'm in the United States. But when it comes down to it, worldwide, there is some fruits and vegetables that are available to you. A lot of times people think there's something specific about something. It works in combination. Your body is made up of millions, daggone near billions of chemicals. So when we say you are what you eat, it's really, it's not just a saying. It's like, think about it. You ate something not too long ago, and that's now your fingernail. That is incredible. And the only way, you can determine your body regenerates itself consistently. For my guys out there who do a lot of drinking and have been torturing their liver, it takes 300 days for you to regenerate another liver. Yeah. Want to back off that alcohol. I know some guys, even the guys in the room, are upset about that. But just back to this list right quick. I'm just going to bang this out. Carrots are great for you. Antioxidants that affect lung health and lowers the chances of developing lung disease. Very important. Citrus is oranges. So citrus is rich in vitamin C and vitamin B6. These help transfer oxygen in lungs. Got a question about beets. Beets are definitely great for you. They help in terms of stamina and things like that. So once again, when we're talking about these fruits and vegetables, they do more than one thing. A lot of times think like, oh, well, I'm just taking it for this. Well, it's going to help you in another area also. I mean, that's how your body is formed. You're eating something and it's going to take whatever you eat. So, I mean, think about it. If you're in a situation where you had to eat nothing but apples for like 4 weeks or something like that, it's not a great diet plan at all, but you will still come out with your body more or less the same. So the same thing would happen with most other foods. It would either make you healthier or sometimes it would make you not as healthy eating the same thing for a long period of time, but you can do it. And it's not like your body would come out completely different. You may gain some weight, lose some weight, but your body wouldn't just change all of a sudden. Man, casinos. Yes, I'm sweating like a reverend. Yeah. Yeah. Beets is blood cleaners. That's a good one. That is very cool. Very important to understand. So let me just go ahead and wrap this up. So, I mean, it's very important for us to be serious at this point. When we're talking about our health, when you're talking about your health, it's your responsibility. Sometimes people just, oh, my doctor said, we're now in the internet age. You can hop online. You can look at videos like mine. You can look at other people's videos. You can do your own research. It is your body. You have to take responsibility for it, because when you're passing, there's not like you could take somebody with it. It's your fault. You coming with me. No, it's your immune system. So be responsible. When I'm saying, eat more fruits and vegetables, don't just do it at the last second. Don't wait until, like I think someone coughed near me. Let me go get some vegetables. No, start right now. And this needs to be a lifelong situation. So, the faster your body can get rid of that virus, the safer it is for everybody around. And that's very important to just think about. So, you won't have to worry about, I need to go visit mom. I need to go visit grandma. I need to go visit the kids. And I'm carrying something with you. Yes, you want to be as safe as possible from the external, but the internal is just as important as well. Yeah. We had somebody talking about a colon cleanse. That is hugely important to have a clean colon. It's just have your insides clean, period. Very important. And once again, fiber. We need to get more fiber in, get those toxins out of your body. Fewer toxins, the less you have to worry about catching something. Garlic and onions, ginger, chili peppers, cruciferous vegetables. That's the kale, cabbage, pomegranates, turmeric, apples, grapefruit, carrot, oranges. There are a ton of, hey, I'm sorry, Edgar caught me with one. African fly rules. I appreciate that, bro. There are a ton of fruits and vegetables that are out there. Beans, seeds, and nuts can be added to the list. Just go natural, folks. And here's something just sort of weird, my own nature conspiracy theory, which is, it was a swine flu. We got the bird flu. This particular flu is coming from, they're saying, coming from bats or some wild animal. And for those who don't know, in other countries, they eat bats the way we eat turkeys. You know, we would think like, ugh, bat, that's disgusting. But you look at a turkey before you kill it. It's disgusting looking thing that is not the cutest animal ever. But the point is that we're killing so many animals. We're raising these animals to be killed. We're so much in contact. These diseases are jumping from the animals to us because of this massive amount of meat that we're consuming constantly, and in the process that it has to go through, we're getting swine that's jumping over to humans, birds. I mean, it's just too much. So that's basically what I've got. I mean, there are some more things. I'll be talking about that next week. Just to let you guys know, this is something that we're trying to do more often. We're every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will be here. We typically do a video on Thursday morning. So make sure you subscribe to Brian Ayers so you can get that information. Yes, shameless plug. Hey, I appreciate that. We do appreciate, just come on in and subscribe, share the information. Though on the channel, we typically talk about male sexual performance. It's still the same stuff. It's still health. And so a lot of the information is the same. I want to thank you for hopping on. If you have any questions, go ahead and chicken is bad as well. Yes, Jamal, you're absolutely right, my man. If you have any questions, go ahead and put those on there. I want to yeah. Terrence just said, I noticed when you include fruits and veggies in your diet, your body feels better. It is so true. Not too long ago, I went off. I had gone through the process of shrinking how much meat I ate, and then started hooking up with some foodies and increased it. And then all of a sudden my knee just said, nah, dude, you're not supposed to do that at all. You're going to have some issues. And someone just asked about homegrown chickens. It doesn't matter. The people often say, what if it's grass fed or it's blah, 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 blah. It's still death. Death doesn't care what it ate before it died. It's dead. So, and the way it reacts in your body is by your body can't get rid of it. So the death stays in your body. It starts lining the inside of your veins. That's how diabetes starts, because the sugar, that's the things that, the foods that you eat are supposed to go into your body, go where it's supposed to go. But with that coating on the inside of the veins, it takes so much away from your body. You don't have the energy. You get inflammations. Whenever I was working out before, my shoulders were hurt, my knees were hurt, all of that. So yeah, it's very important to just realize, when you say free range chicken or cooked up chicken, it's like, what's better, cocaine or meth? Neither one. So I hate to be a bearer of bad news, but we've been lied to. We've been told that meat is the thing. That's what we're supposed to do. It just so happens that the meat manufacturers just happen to know that, hey, it costs so much money to create meat. And if we get everybody addicted to it, they're all going to keep coming back to us. And that's the reason why it's been planted in our head. And they just keep coming with the commercials saying that you have to eat meat, and you do not. How about salmon? Salmon was once alive too. It's not good for you. And also now they're doing not farmed salmon, which is horrible, which is way worse for your body. Okay, so I was trying to read someone's yes. So I think we're good. Yeah, vegetables and fruits are so much better for your body. So I'm just going to go ahead and close out now. But I want to thank everybody for joining in. Terrence, Jamar, Andrew, H. Fernando D. Durant Brantley. Hey, I appreciate all of you, Casino. Oh man, you a trip. And we had one more size. What to eat to gain size if no meat? Just increase your volume. We're talking about, when people tend to eat salads and things like that, it's like just you're replacing what you used to eat. So if you need to gain more weight, you have to eat more volume. Now, and also remember, we have elephants who eat, they're vegetarian, they eat plants. We have horses that eat plants. We also have goats that eat plants. So different sizes, they have different sizes, but they have to eat the volume to keep up with that. So, and these animals are constantly eating. And so, if you have the body type with that, you need to gain weight. The only way to do that is by increasing the volume. Hey, thank you guys. I appreciate you for hopping on. Yep, Terrence is absolutely right. Yeah, when you're healthy, yeah, things go much better. You can eat 5 pounds of veggies and fruit in a smoothie. Yeah, that is true. So, hey, once again, thank you guys so much. Next week, next Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll make sure to get the emails out to you. We'll make sure the notifications are on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe, and thank you so very much. And we will talk to you guys later on. If you have any other questions, you can go to the comment section for any of the YouTube videos, and we check those constantly to make sure we get the answers to you. So thanks, guys. Appreciate all of you. Y'all have a great day. Thanks, Mark. Appreciate it. Thanks, Andrea. All right.